Our first race lined up, all ready to go, the 250 solos. There are some 350s, but only a very few. This race was won last year by Joey Dunlop. In fact, Dunlop blitzed the entire week, but a tumble and a broken collarbone, again, said Dunlop, has been broken so many times that new fractures don't always show up on X-rays, has seen the TT star withdraw his entry. Also missing out on this grid is TT and Northwest star Phil McCallan. He is here on the island and will race, but only in selected events. He's still in some pain from an injured shoulder following his traumatic tangle in the Ulster GP. A grid start for these races, and the men to watch in this 250 class must be number 1, Ian Locker, number 2, Brian Reid, and 7, Dave Milling, and 8, Gary Radcliffe, the local man from Douglas. Leader at the moment, number 10, Lee Pullen on the 250 Yamaha ahead of Reid, Milling, and number 5, Jason Griffiths. No sign of Locker. By Castletown corner at the end of lap 2, it had become a three-way fight at the front between the two Manton men, Pullen and Milling, in first and third places, with Brian Reid squeezed between them in second spot. Griffiths still there in fourth place, but losing touch slightly, and the gap behind him had grown enormously. And now we're looking at the story of the race, the question whether or not Reid could overcome Pullen for the lead. Through Ballabeg, he held the front, and winding through the lanes on the run across the top of the square towards Billown and cross four ways, Reid on the Loctite Yamaha was still in front, but hadn't broken clear. On board with Reid now, and from low down by the Yamaha's front wheel, the Billown circuit is typically Manx. This could be the TT course. And now it's Milling, the Cumbrian rider, who's pulled up on his teammate and taken up the running in second place, while Reid still hangs on to the lead. Lapping at just under 100 miles an hour average, the front three are really scratching now. Short circuit racing between the stone walls and the hedges, and the straw bales placed here for race week. The hairpin at Ballabeg as the laps unfold, and still Reid fights to stay in front of Milling. But a mile further on at cross four ways, it's Milling ahead, with Reid mounting an attack to regain his place. Lee Pullen in third place, Griffith still fourth, and still a good way back. And now it's Pullen who's challenging Reid, and the Loctite man's fighting to stay second as Griffiths retires from fourth place. Last lap, the two teammates race between themselves through the back markers, and David Collister lifts his Yamaha aside to let Pullen through and takes the unofficial escape road into the field. Watch it again, Collister 74 on the left of the picture, peels off and turns in on the line, sees the Yamaha goes through, picked it up, and luckily the gate is open and into the field he goes.